Hello there and good morning. Now, would you believe it? The leader of the Scottish National Party, Nicola Sturgeon, has been accused by her longest-serving MP of undermining her own party's Scottish independence campaign. So how on earth has this come about? Well, earlier this month, Nicola Sturgeon backed calls for a second EU referendum. But as the SNP Member of Parliament for Perth and North Perthshire, Peter Wishart, points out in an article in The National, should there be another Scottish independence referendum and the Leave the UK side won, Nicola Sturgeon's stance on a further EU referendum now would give those that wish Scotland to remain in the United Kingdom the precedent to demand a further confirmatory vote on any deal struck between Scotland and the rest of the UK. Talking to The National, he said, "If you set the precedent, effectively what it means is that even if we win Indy Ref 2, we would have to have Indy Ref 3 to confirm it once the deal is done. So all it's doing is opening up an opportunity for Westminster to scupper independence, in my view." And he's got an extremely valid point, hasn't he? Well, looking at the lessons learned from the EU referendum, maybe an Indy Ref 2 for Scotland should look different this time based on the input so far from those like Nicola Sturgeon that back a second EU referendum. What I suggest is that instead of a direct in-out question right at the start, maybe the question should look more like this. Do you want the Scottish Government to negotiate a deal with Westminster to leave the United Kingdom and then vote on that deal in 4 years' time? Yes or no? What could be fairer and less divisive than that? Other than not having the vote at all, of course. Then, after the 4 years has elapsed, because we now know that 2 years isn't quite long enough to do these things, you have the second vote, with the questions being: tick one of the following 3 boxes. Leave the UK based on the deal negotiated between the Scottish Government and the UK Government. 2. Leave the UK with no deal at all. And 3. Remain in the UK. Now, who could possibly argue with such a sensible proposal as that? Well, what do you think? Please leave a comment below, and thank you for watching.